it doesn't always pick us up immediately. So I'm just giving us a little start. I'm running head start. Now, on this episode of My Mic Sounds Nice, it's impossible to get equal justice for black people in America. Between the Carmelo Anthony shooting verdict and the convenience store shooting, things haven't changed. Jay-Z takes some shots at people without a gun. Should he stand down or should he keep it going? And finally, the impossible has occurred. The New York Knicks
Yeah,
are
yeah,
NBA
yeah,
champs.
yeah.
That's right. I'm not crying. Are you crying? Then we close things out with the Robinson Report.
Wemby.
Wemby's crying.
Welcome to My Mic Sounds Nice, a freestyle conversation about health, relationships, and culture. Knicks Championship Edition. I am Tim, one of your hosts, proud New Yorker, Brooklyn stand-up. Glad to be in the building. Let's get it.
My mic sounds nice. This is Kevin, aka Reggie Jacks, coming from the happy home of the Bronx. Let's get it.
My mic sounds nicer than it's ever sound because the Knicks are the king of the town. This is A for Strong Island. I can't rhyme, but I'm right on time.
Yo, our producer came with championship
Oh.
bars.
Bars, bars.
Big Body Brunson and Bar a Lot A.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, man. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
It is.
we will get into this later on in the episode, but obviously it's a day later, 36 hours later, and we still on cloud nine. So
Yes, yeah.
So bear with us.
yeah,
Yes.
bear with us. We yeah. Been a lot of turmoil in between.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're gonna
Let's get in.
yeah. Let's get going.
Let's
Yeah.
let's get in. Talk about equal justice, man. Carmelo Anthony, the young man in Texas that was convicted on murder, got 35 years. He's at the track meet. It was raining. He was underneath the tent. He got into an altercation. It wasn't his team's tent. He got into an altercation with somebody else. They told him he had to leave. Altercation, exchanged words. He said he was assaulted. He wound up stabbing the person, and he's convicted of murder. No stand your ground for black people.
Yeah, stand your ground was. I don't know. I think it was invented to harm black people.
Stand your ground changes every time. Like,
Yeah.
it's the paper bag test. Stand your ground. Hold up. Are you darker than this paper bag? No.
Well, in
I
that
think
case,
it's
no ground for your boy.
yeah. I think when you have bad ambiguous law, it always will be. Uh, it'll fall down. Systematic racial lines, and black and brown people end up getting hurt. Uh, you know, I feel for the Metcalf family. Uh, I do. I don't like their behavior, but a young man lost his life, and we need to remember that. However, I think we also in this country are at the point where we don't treat teenagers like teenagers. And even though, you know, a horrible death occurred, we are supposed to be about rehabilitation in this country. And there's no rehabilitation in a 35-year sentence. That's just all about punishment. And it's all about punishment in the state, Texas, that has a high number of black and brown people incarcerated and on death row. So it's really sad to see, especially when you have Case and Allison, someone who also was in high school, also in Texas, and he receives a manslaughter charge for a very similar crime. So, tough one to deal with.
I'm glad you let in. It's a tragedy all around. You have a 17-year old that lost his life. I think where it becomes challenging, it's hard to look at the justice system in the United States through a lens that is not racial. But at times, we often get challenged to be objective as if history didn't happen and is not continuing to happen. And then to speak about it, you get perceived as if you are downplaying the tragedy or trying to absolve Carmelo from accountability
Responsibility.
and responsibility. But not. But when you learn that there were no black jurors and that three potential black jurors were not allowed on, and then some were saying it was because they were educators, and so you start to hear those things, and then you hear that the young man who was murdered, his father is friends with the prosecutor and the judge. Like, so you start to hear these things that make you question the standard of due process in this case, and it doesn't help matters, even though the circumstances are not the same per se, but it's like almost in the same week. You hear about the Asian store owner who doesn't get charged for shooting a 14-year-old black young black boy. I ain't even gonna say young man. At 14, you are a young boy. You're a
In the back,
teenager.
Tim.
In the back, fleeing. But then it's like, oh, my child was threatened. So there's so much noise that it makes it difficult to hear clear sound, and so that's where that tragedy comes into play. And as you said, he's 19 now. You're talking about 35 years if that appeal doesn't go through. You're in your 50s if you have to serve that full time, and yeah. So, and then hearing some of the things that are just coming out now, it's just difficult to really have faith in the system. And the last thing I'll say is this: because we grow up in systems and microaggressions and nuances, a black teenager surrounded by white teenagers could truly fear for their lives, but we could look on the outside and be like, nah, you're overreacting. It's easy for you to say that if you've never been in that situation. So
Yeah.
I'll say I'll leave it there.
You know, that, justice definitely is not blind. Justice chooses sides all the time. I think that if you've never been involved in criminal proceedings, court proceedings, what kind of watch how it goes down. There's nothing fair about it, and it's the laws protect the in crowd, whoever the in crowd is. Like right now, we look at it. It's like, oh, black people, we're rarely part of the in crowd, so we're always, we're always catching the rat. But this is just another example of that. When I look at kind of the Asian store shooting of him running down the block, chasing, shooting him in the shooting him in the back. I look at Carmelo Anthony surrounded by people and feeling threatened. I go back to one time somebody said something to my wife about, I don't know if it was the Labor Day parade or the West Indian Day parade or something, and they made a comment to the effect of like, they were scared about being out kind of during that time. It was a white person talking about being out at that time, and her response was, "Yeah, I understand. During the St. Patrick's Day parade is, I feel nervous when that's going down too." And if you ever been around New York, that St. Patrick's Day parade, SantaCon, being anywhere near Penn Station after the Rangers play, like those are not pleasant. It's not.
Yeah.
It's never people that look like us, and it's a bunch of drunk people, and it
Yeah.
does not feel comfortable. And hey, I'm
And
sure you've been on that train many a
that's what I'm
time.
about to say. I'm on the train going home with that crowd
with
in a box.
said folks
With yes,
in a
and
box that's moving.
the drinking don't stop.
Yeah, yeah, you get to drink on those
Now
trains.
now they're drinking on the train on the way home.
Yeah.
No, or going to when we had jet season tickets, Kevin,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
getting on that train,
yeah.
you know,
That's drinking for a different purpose. No.
yeah, uh, that was the first time I ever smelled alcohol come because we don't drink like that. We're not big drinkers. That's the first time I smelled alcohol coming out of people's pores. Not one person, but just a bunch of people. Like I had never experienced that before.
It's like you sweating brown.
Yeah,
Yeah, so,
like
so but we say these things to say that when you are not part of that in crowd at that moment, it can feel threatening. You can feel in danger.
and that's a
And
human thing. That's not.
yeah,
It's not about race. That's a human reaction. You know what I mean? That fear. So,
But I think that fear is a human reaction that can be magnified and or minimized based on
oh,
experience.
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And the one thing I'll say about the justice system is a lot of times we look at it and we think, okay, here is this set of laws that's devoid of emotion that is set to resolve things. And that is true. However, there is human input. And that human input is where the problems come in. And Kevin said justice isn't blind. He's absolutely 100% correct. You mentioned, Tim, that the jury, it wasn't a black person on the jury. That did not happen by accident. That is intentional by the prosecutor to tip the scales so that he could win the case. And if we think race doesn't matter, the question is why is the prosecutor stacking the jury in a certain way if race isn't an issue in the first place? So I just want to say it's clear that we're not living in a system of equal justice. Um, Carmelo Anthony's case is been publicized, but sadly, there's a bunch of Carmelo Anthony's behind bars. Not saying that they were all innocent. Some of them are guilty at the day is long. But when justice is meting out its punishment, it's almost never fair. The last thing I'll say is that Kevin and I, uh, have go to federal court. We've been to federal court to watch a trial. I've been in Nassau County and just going in to watch a trial, and I've been on juries.
They said they go watch a trial. I want y'all to think they were on trial.
Yes,
They were
yes,
watch.
watching a trial.
So I would suggest that average citizen go in a courtroom. If you're just driving by one day,
yeah.
go in a courtroom and just sit in there for half an hour and just watch. Watch a trial in action.
It ain't like TV.
No.
What one thing I want to say is it's a tragedy. It's definitely a tragedy for both parties. And unfortunately, here in America, we are all about punishment. We're never about rehab, and that is spilled over into a larger society. How we treat people when they do something wrong. I say that to say like we just want to punish. Texas, Florida, those are states they're big on killing. They're big on the death penalty.
Yeah.
Um, we get upset when they look at sometimes young white men and they say, oh well, they try to find the reasons and understanding the bad upbringing. What was that? Affluenza, when the rich family kid never had to suffer consequences, and all of those type things. Anybody that's out here committing crimes, that's doing wrong, they've all got stories. And I think as a society, we need to be able to kind of look at their stories and understanding it. It's not that we're upset that white people get a break. We want that same break. We want to be treated as a full human also. It's not just as somebody, it's not the one bad act or the couple of bad acts that we did. But overall, I want to speak to a larger society. We got to start doing that within ourselves. When we become these social media warriors, justice warriors, and we decide that, oh, somebody did something that's against the line, and there's no space for rehab, there's no space for comeback. We also add and contribute to that type of environment.
Yeah. I think that it's a shame, and it's gotten out of hand, because Mr. Metcalf in his pain and in his, I don't know, racism or what, but to call Carmelo Anthony a watermelon felon is, we're in a whole different. That's a whole different lane of
Yeah, no,
crazy.
it's definitely out of pocket. It's definitely out of pocket. I don't know what other people have said to him, and I don't know if these things are in response. I'm not excusing it, but I'm just saying, like we it's
I
a
mean,
bad situation.
I mean,
no, it is.
in his rant, he said it. He prepped it. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it was
He had
it was the perfect
it.
no disrespect followed up by being disrespectful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, nah.
as you know,
And
when
No,
people
he
say
he
no
had he
disrespect,
yeah, exactly, exactly. They'd be like,
disrespect's
"Yo,
coming.
I
yeah,
don't
nah,
mean to be
nah.
rude."
He had it locked and loaded. He was
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
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 yeah, and
without a doubt.
and out the last thing, when we have a justice system that is focused on punishment because the felons that they're sending are being sent to another community. So it doesn't matter if they're rehabilitated or reoffend because it's not affecting, hey, my living conditions remain the same. It would be different if you knew that felon was coming home and living next door to you. You would be more concerned about rehabilitation. And I think we need to make sure that the people who are meting out justice are also living in the same communities as people who commit crimes, because then you'd be focused on, hey, let me rehab this person, let me try and make things better, as opposed to let me punish them and let me say that they can't get a job. Oh, wink, wink. Yeah, I can't punish you, for being a felon, but if you put it on a job application, you almost certainly are not getting a job.
I was gonna say A only because of time. You just kicked open the door of a whole nother conversation, and I'm not saying that to downplay
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no, no,
I'm
no.
actually blowing air in
Yeah,
it because honestly, having some experience with that in and then I would never say it's worse than being in because I've never been in, but when the struggles of trying to get back on your feet once you're out, it's almost kind of like, yo, how you gonna win?
yeah,
How
Yeah.
you gonna win?
yeah.
Because it's
It-
not designed for you to win. It's designed to keep you dependent, and then recidivism is real, and then the saga continues. Wu
I
Tang.
mean, remember, Aaron, you talk about getting out. One of the things that they do is, the mathematical, the formula that they say, like whether you can get out on early on parole, is if you're going back to an environment where it's filled with criminals, those are points against you. That's home.
yeah,
That's home.
Yes.
And y'all police it. So there's the way that you police it. There's gonna be more criminals.
yeah,
Like there's more marijuana arrests in the hood than in other neighborhoods, even though usage is the same.
yeah,
So I'm saying
Whoop, whoop.
things are policed in a certain way where like you kind of can't win.
yeah. All right.
Yeah, but
Revisit recidivism at a
uh,
different
yeah,
time.
Yes.
recidivism, rehab, and
Get
all
the.
of that.
I like that. You like revisit recidivism. Yeah, there you go. He in his bag today.
Yeah.
Yes.
More bars from
I
A.
was
All
like,
right.
speaking of bars,
Speaking of bars,
speaking of poetic bars,
Jay-Z at the Roots Festival. He got on stage. He's no longer Basquiat.
I'm ducking shots.
No longer Basquiat. Now he's got the afro, and he's throwing shots at people who threw shots at him.
Part of a rollout.
hey,
I
he
would
said
think so.
they said he said he was going on offense. So
Yeah,
Did you like the
you know,
freestyle, Tim?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I like I like how he does his spoken word. I mean, I love it. I love it for what it is. Um, I just found it interesting that he was being interviewed not too long before and was talking about kind of battling needs to be dead or diminished. I'm kind of paraphrasing. And then you step out and your gun was loaded. And understanding position. You were shooting down. Like let's keep it a buck. You positioned like you was lyrically shooting downward, and at some point things that we just gotta let certain things go. So
I'll say this: anybody Jay Z speaks on, he's gonna be shooting down. So
I know, so which is why, but in his interview, I felt like it's kind of like you try to operate in your position, but then you're not consistent with it. I feel like when he was being interviewed, he was kind of speaking semi-elder statesman, boss level, like, yo, man, like that the battling and like we should kind of move on.
But I think
yeah,
in defense, and I didn't necessarily find a contradiction in him doing it. In defense, what he said was, you're talking about people's kids. You're trying to
yeah,
break up their marriages.
you
And
went too far.
I think he was talking in that sense, and he didn't do any of those things.
Well, yeah, no, he didn't do that.
And
Yeah.
he didn't battle.
He
Like I
didn't pull
think
receipts. Yeah, he
yeah,
just yeah.
I think throwing. I don't think Jay Z was like, yo, people shouldn't show subs and people shouldn't, crack at each other on record. I think he's saying the Kendrick and Drake battle. The only two times I can recall a battle feeling like it was me versus you was the way Hot 97 lined up Jay and Nas, and then there's Drake and Kendrick, where people are waiting for records. People are like waiting
Well,
to judge. It's like, yo,
The Drake and Meek Mill too. They lined that
yeah.
up. They lined that up. They lined.
But I'm saying, do you think people were really
I mean, that was
on it
it.
like that?
Yeah, that there at that time, yeah, it was stayed within hip hop.
Okay,
Meek Mill
all
was
right.
coming with a response at 12.
Maybe because I didn't care that much. So all
Well,
right.
see, but no, but that's a really there's something there on top of you probably didn't care that much where Drake was and where Meek Will was at the time that they were battling. The scope felt all encompassing, but it was in a much smaller
Yeah,
circle than Drake Kendrick. Like Drake Kendrick ended up involving the Super Bowl. Like what?
And the stakes and the Drake Kendrick and the Jay Nas felt like they were real stakes. Like somebody's career really could be affected. If depending on how this goes. Now, that turned out not to be true. But in the midst of it, it felt like that. Like, yo,
I think we draw comparisons between the two because we are hip hop heads. On a societal scale, Nas and Jay don't compare to Drake and Kendrick. To the
no,
point,
because
when
nobody.
talking about to
Yeah.
when you talking about like what was at stake.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? That it's like a Kendrick response almost being the lead on CNN. That if I'm Drake, like you're catching strays from everywhere.
Yeah.
So you know,
No, you're right about that. But the reason I say it's similar is because in New York State, and that's the difference. In New York State, it felt the same because we had a day long thing on the radio of
yeah,
this showdown is about to go down today. So the city was a buzz of this battle's about to go down at 4 p.m. today.
we
So
had terrestrial radio.
yeah. So
yeah,
you're right, Tim.
and
It's
not without social media.
yeah. It's a smaller scale. But in terms of wow, there's gonna be real consequences,
It
that
felt the
feeling was
same. Yeah,
exactly the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, we felt it. I wasn't even in New York. I'm
Yeah.
feeling it because I identify with hip hop.
So are
This
you?
time around, you're hearing people talk about it who really wasn't in hip hop, but
CNN
just
reporters are talking about it.
yeah. So it's like
You know, your local news is commenting on it. People who
So
didn't know Kendrick and Drake found out about Kendrick and Drake because of the battle.
yes, yes.
so bringing it back to Jay-Z, are we all right with him taking shots at people? Like he took shots at Drake. He took shots at Nicki when he stuttered like Nicki Minaj. He's diabolical stutter.
Now, what he said about Nicki Minaj's husband, I mean, like, here's the thing. Yeah, I'll say this. And me and my wife, we were talking about it because I wish the Jay and Dame stuff would just stop.
Yeah.
Because it's getting so bad that it's kind of eroding the history that they made together. Um, Everybody else, I'm like, like
But you know, like I mean, historically, kind of that's how he is with you with me or you not.
I know, but then
And
just
then
let it go. Or maybe Dame should be quiet then.
you know, that's what I'm saying. But you know, he let you not be with him. But if you start taking shots at him,
Yeah, yeah.
Then then that's where he's on the offensive.
And
like
I also think that
like I said, I know somebody that helped him get his first deal. And you know, they only got a little bit of money. And when he ran into them like around Hard Knock Life tour, and he said to them, he's like, "Yo, it's like I know you mad, like you know, like you chose wrong, but he ain't take shots at him. He did
Yeah.
bless him later on, so I mean, he's not a complete asshole."
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this. I think that Jay-Z, there was a lot of people playing with his name. People that, you know, are marginal people like Oshino. But people are making money off of this. You know, it's almost like, hey, let me go on this YouTube circuit. I'm gonna get 5 bands to talk about Jay-Z. You know, Dame's gonna get probably 20, 25 just to go on TV and talk about Jay-Z.
Great
And you
point.
know, I'm gonna call him a
Great point.
pedophile, a criminal, Illuminati, dark
point.
arts,
You
Great
know,
point.
Harry
So-
Potter, everything. You know, my man is accused of it all.
yeah. And then you start talking about he is, you know, uh, attacking women, you know, things of that nature. I think it's okay, especially when you've gone through stuff at home, which is clear. You can tell through the things he said that it affected his home life, and probably his children felt a certain kind of way. Where art is my release, art is my way that I get things out and I process things, as he has said. I'm all right with it. You know, I think Nicki Minaj deserved it. You know, um, I
Even the
think
line about the husband not being able to pick up the kid.
absolutely, absolutely. In fact, that was my favorite line of the whole diss. You know,
Hey,
I think Tony Busby deserves it. You know,
oh yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think you could have left Tory Lanez and his father alone. I think you could even left Dame alone, but Dame just keeps on
Yeah.
keeping
Dame
on.
makes it bad.
Yeah.
I mean, Dame ain't gonna stop, and Jay, you know, I mean,
And last thing, and I think it's part of a rollout. I think he's probably gonna drop an album, and all these people used him. If he uses it as part of the beginning of his rollout, oh well.
yeah, I mean,
You
Okay.
know, I mean, I think, I mean, of course, the wordplay impeccable, uh, and then you get people talking about Jay is not relevant and people don't care, like because he's old. Like that's
or
the
he was never
part.
really all that.
Like stop it. Like come on, man.
And
Like
then young people, yeah, talking about.
yeah, it's like
When I hear
that.
people say he was never all that, I'm like, yeah,
That's like yo, you could not like the brother. You could have dirt on him that may be true, not or whatever. You're not gonna talk about him not being one of the greats
Yes.
on the mic. Period. Like
Yes.
stop. And we gotta stop thinking if you perfecting your craft, you don't age out of being nice. Like that's the point where it's like, yo, like he wasn't up there sounding off. Like, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't getting
When I
winded.
read this
Like
book,
his performance is still he's still Jay. Like that's to me is one of the great takeaways of it. That it's like, yo, you can say what you want. I'm still Jay.
You know, go ahead, A.
I would say this to any young person before they want to talk about him, is to
Read
read
Decoded.
Decoded. Read it and read the lyrics, and then listen to him explain the lyrics in a level that increases the complexity and the thought that went into his rhymes.
So hey, to give the quick cheat code, I use that book in my class, and we go from Nina Simone, Young Gifted and Black, to Jay's freestyle, Young Gifted and Black, which is broken down in Decoded, and then my students have to then attempt to decode with the same level of rigor and complexity a modern rhyme.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
I mean,
You
no,
know, I want to say we got to stop. I don't know. I feel like part of our generation has encouraged it, and you know, I don't know if we've raised these kids in this way.
Yeah, we did.
How do we how do we stop revering what came first and the foundation? We grew up. We
Yeah, we didn't.
loved.
I don't think we did that. Yeah,
But no,
we did
but
some other
I'm saying,
stuff.
I'm saying,
No, no, no. You're right.
like, check it. We loved Motown. Now,
yeah,
King Cole was, you know, that's too far beyond us. But Motown, we rocked with Motown. Have
We
mad
loved
respect.
Teddy Pendergrass.
Ted-
we were
Pendergrass,
in we
Aretha
was in a
Franklin,
dorm playing
all of
music that was 20 years old.
like all of these things. But somehow within hip hop, we've made it where we don't have respect for what came before us. I look at the groups like the Grateful Dead. Grateful Dead toured for years afterwards. You look at the love that they have for some of these artists. The Rolling Stones, they still touring. Mick Jagger, how?
You
How is
you
this
want to know
possible?
why? You want to know why they did that? Why hip hop did that? Because industry trends keep you what's popular. Because if I can keep young separated from old, I can persuade young to remain dumb.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think it's a larger societal issue where young people they don't believe, and maybe they feel lied to. They don't believe in historical facts because on the internet people can record something and then we just are trained to believe it. We don't question it. Uh, so
It's not presented as part of the process by which you enter, and which is a whole nother set of stories. Because in any other genre, in almost any other art form, part of your entering is you studying those who've come before you.
yeah,
But with hip hop, you could just be in your room, you and your friends. Then if you pop off, you don't think you need, and it's tactical, man. It really is, because we were in college being mentored by Chuck D
yeah,
to continue doing the hip hop conference.
yeah,
Yeah.
Today, that might not happen, because whoever would be Chuck D, they might look at them and be like, yo, I'm already selling more than you, or I'm already doing these things, as opposed to shut up, sit down,
Yeah. Yeah, and listen,
and receive this receive this knowledge.
even if you go back to early Drake, 2011 or something, when he said when Jay did some interview, he was talking about artwork, and Basquiat and Drake was like, "That's kind of corny, talking about art."
yeah, yeah. I mean, to me, what I don't understand is you have young people who I'm all right with you not liking your current hip hop, more than hip hop that came before, and that's sounding old to you. That's natural. That's the natural
Yeah.
order of things. However, what I'm amazed by is that we could listen to rappers today who clearly have less skill, less ability, and less storytelling, and listen to an album from 20 years ago where it was very important to be skilled on the mic, and that not be appealing to you. For you not to say, wow, he really knows how to rhyme. Like, that is strange to me. That is strange that I can understand you preferring this more so than that, but not listening to that and not go, wow, that guy can spit. Like,
That's
I
not what
just,
because they're not listening for it. That's not what hip hop is. Like hip hop for
They're,
us
they're,
was
they're,
about the lyrics.
yeah.
I know, I get it. I get that. That's what I'm saying. I'm okay with them loving what they love now. When I listen to R&B from the 60s, it sounded slow to me. It sounded slower than the R&B that we were listening to in the 80s. But I could hear the brilliance in it, man. They weren't doing the choruses that they were doing in the 60s, in the 80s. There wasn't all the horns and the instrumentation of the 60s and 70s in the 80s music. But I could respect and understand that, yo, wow, that's incredible. I'd rather listen to this, but
this-
that was incredible.
Hey, you on one today? This is a longer conversation, and we're going to get to the next because honestly,
we're
this
gonna
goes
have to come back to it.
into cognition, lack of literacy, and a misevaluation. You're absolutely right. So just understand this: there is no disagreement. It's just like you presented the tip of the iceberg, and that iceberg under the water, sea level, is
It's
so
Antarctica.
yes, that is like we should spend some time on a show to dig into
Further.
that because
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I always
We will
say who
visit
raised
that
y'all.
also.
I always say who raised y'all, and I know it was us. I'm just
Yeah.
I just don't know how we got there.
we all got headphones. That's what it was. So people ain't have to listen. But
Now,
let's go, A.
Let's go.
Let's go. 1973, when lyrics mattered. 1973.
1973. Let's go.
When hip hop was born. Yo, the Knicks' last chip was the same year that party on August 11th took place. 1973 was a great year.
like 2 months before.
and 57.
Yes. So,
There's a big gap.
yes.
Um,
So on Saturday,
Yes, on Saturday we watched
June
New York.
13th.
We watched the New York Knicks close out the Spurs in San Antonio to win the chip. My man watches every single game.
Yeah, you get first crack, A.
He gets first dibs.
When you said you was 82 games in.
Yeah.
Yo, the floor is yours.
I don't even got MSG, and I live in New York. So
Yeah.
It's all A.
A is our Stephen A.
Yeah.
So what you say?
Yeah. Except for I never
You never abandoned him.
I never undermine my team.
Yeah.
I'm not booing them. I'm not getting in their head. I'm not, none of that. I'm loving them. But no, it's true. I watch every game. Kev will tell you if I can't watch it, I'm recording it, and I don't want to hear nothing about it. So if I'm in the street with you, my friends know,
Can't say nothing.
don't say the next one, because I'm gonna go home and watch it. I am over the moon happy. I'm over the moon happy for those Knicks players. For Cat getting maligned, Mikal having to carry the weight of 5 picks like he pulled the trigger on the trade himself. Jalen
Like
Brunson, for
negotiation.
everybody clowning him. You gave him $104 million. That he ain't gonna get up to the second round. That's what Colin Coward said. No, Bill Simmons. There's so many of them.
I about to say that list is too long.
Yo, the list of people who clowned the Knicks for signing Jalen Brunson. And the dumb thing about it is that season, they just got to see him in the playoffs drop 30-something a game in the playoffs. That wasn't an accident. That's who he was. But he was behind Luka Doncic. And who would have ever thought that Brunson would have a chip before Luka?
Well,
Not only that, he would lead a team to having a chip before Luka. Who would have ever thought that?
we could begin to say that the Dallas Mavericks have been one of the dumbest in the past few years, but it's about the Knicks.
No, absolutely. No, I'm happy
You look,
for the
you look
fan
at who they
base.
let walk away.
So
Tim,
happy?
you said something earlier in pre-production, and it's true. When the New York Knicks win, it's good for the NBA, and you
Oh, yeah.
are 1,000% right, my brother. It's not just good for New York. Would you say everybody eats?
Yes, everybody eats.
Yeah, like so. I'm happy. I'm happy for Patrick Ewing and Allen Houston and Carmelo. I'm happy for Ken Bannister. I'm happy. I'm happy for Bernard King.
Yo,
Trent Tucker.
Ken the Animal Bannister,
Mark Jackson, Rod Strickland,
Anthony
my man.
Mason.
Loose
Anthony Mason, God rest his soul. No, and all of the people I gotta be quiet, like Paul Pierce. Like, I love it. I love it. And lastly, Queen of the Mountain, Becky Hammond.
What did she say, eh? What did
She
she say?
said you can't win a chip with a small guard leading your team. And you want to know why real quick, and then I'll let you go, why that's a dumb thought. Because in order to say that, you would have to say, over the last 50 years, yeah, so-and-so tried and failed, so-and-so tried and failed, so-and-so tried and
She
failed.
did say that. She said it.
No, huh?
She said she named.
No,
other
no, no.
people.
But her, who she
She named
named,
losers.
who she named
Okay.
were not, the only person she named that was the leader of their team was Allen Iverson. And everyone knows that they lost that finals against the Lakers because they were undermatched. They would never, it wasn't even a fair finals. And the fact that they got one game was due to Allen Iverson. But Steve Nash was not the leader of his team. He was the point guard. Stockton was the leader of his team. He was the point guard. They were the floor generals. They were not, I am the leader of the team. So her premise was off. Her premise was off. The only person that is a leader that lost was Iverson, and Iverson lost because he had a team that was not matched evenly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, there's only been 2 point guards. I mean, there were the
That's the
leaders
point. So
to
you
do
can't
that.
say
There's
that
only-
this is
there's only-
something that's going to fail.
Wait. So the point is, if you're looking at probability, I mean, she got to eat it because she doubled down a couple of weeks ago. She said, "Prove me wrong." So
Her
now that you proved me
point,
wrong.
Kevin, is that there's something about your size and you being a leader that they're going to be able to stop you because you're little. That's the point of the argument.
I understand. I think statistics.
And that's never been true.
statistics
because
bear that
those-
out. I disagree with that.
Those people who are leaders that are little, by the time that somebody says you're a leader on an NBA team, they've already figured out how to defeat people because of their size. By the
Statistics
time you
bear it
become a
out.
leader,
Nobody has won besides Isaiah and Curry as the lead dog,
Kevin,
as somebody that's smart.
you know what the right thing to say is? It's very rare for a small guard to become the leader of a team.
That's right.
That is the
Didn't
argument.
I just say that? Didn't I just
Huh?
say statistics?
No,
bear
that's
that out?
different. No, that's
All right,
different.
we're not having this argument. We're not
But
having
no,
this argument.
that's different. But the point is, Kevin, that is different than a small person isn't able to lead a team. It's different than it's very unlikely that a
To the
small
championships.
person will rise to that point. My
If you
point is,
listen
when
to the
she-
full quote, it wasn't. She did.
I watched it live. I don't need the quote.
All right.
I was watching NBA Today when she said it.
Okay, so we're not arguing about the naysays. We're arguing about our happiness. Go ahead, Tim.
We wasn't arguing until you
See,
dead
what I'm
wrong.
saying? Yo,
Get over there in the Becky Hammond corner.
you know what?
Whoa! Wow!
Wow.
Feel the
I was a
love.
Becky Hammond fan when she was in the Liberty because I used
So
to go
was
to them
I.
first games.
I love her as a coach.
But she's a great coach.
Hey, she was wrong.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
wrong.
I mean, it's watching watching the way that they came together. There's going to be books written. There's going to be films. The 30 for 30 is
We
going to
getting the 30
be
for 30, Tim?
banana. You have to. I mean, there's just so many layers. I mean, to script Jalen Brunson coming to the team that his dad played for, so he was around this team as a kid. He comes back home, much maligned, like no fanfare. Like the boo game
Boots.
was loud.
It's like he's not Donovan Mitchell. What are we
Yeah,
doing?
like we give us Donovan, give us KD, like anybody, like this is what we got. Like let's be real. And so your dad, your the father Rick is on the team as an assistant coach, hearing this about his son.
And he
Like,
was on the 99.
no, that's what I'm
Knicks.
saying. Like, just the whole. So Rick Brunson was a player when the Knicks lost to the Spurs in '99. Now his son is coming to the team that he was on. Now he's an assistant coach, but his son isn't coming with the fanfare. His son is coming to the Boo soundtrack. So as a father, you got to show up to work and hear this. Like what? And then you still got to be locked in to do your job. And then Jalen Brunson just continues to literally shut everybody up, like
Yep.
everybody,
Quietly.
and like it's like shutting people up without saying it speaks so loud. And to close the deal in San Antonio, he drops 45. The entire rest of the team only hits 49. He was in his bag. Like he decided, like honestly, pun intended, rare air, the only other person to do that was Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So we could talk about height, stats, whatever. So I'm gonna lean in. I'll be Team A on this one because most people, if somebody's doing something with Jordan, you're already head of the class. So to drop 45 on the road to close a finals, he is only the second person to do that. And when Jordan did it, I believe the rest of his team had more than 49.
And you know what? And to be honest with you, it's even worse. The Knicks had 90, so he had half their points. The only reason they have 49 is because he was on the bench for defensive reasons, and those 4 points were foul shots at the end of the game.
Wow.
Yes.
So that's a 50-50 split.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So you told the other 11, every point you getting, I'm getting one.
Yep.
I mean, for me, it was a glorious day. I've been a Knicks fan forever. I'm not the fan that A is, but we go back. Willis Reed happened to be a friend of the family. So as a small child, when I was young, I'd be around Willis Reed. I was around them when they were the champions. I just I'm 5 years older, so I don't know any better. But I wish I had pictures of me with Willis Reed. Spent the night at his house. He gave me my first basketball, which as my friends would say, if he saw me play, he would want it back. but so it was definitely a happy moment to be like, yes, they finally got this victory. Don't get me wrong, because I'm down for the naysayers. I'm down for the in your face, eat this. And I love the fact that they got to do it in San Antonio. I think that in basketball, we're quick to anoint the next person, the things that are flashy. And what we have the Knicks, we see a camaraderie, we see a brotherhood, we see that they played together as a team, and they respected their opponent. When I watched the Spurs, even in the loss, and people talk about their youth. It's not the youth. To me, it was they didn't have a healthy respect. If you walk out saying we're better than them, you don't have a healthy respect. We came up while really paying attention to coaching when we were in Washington D.C. with when the Commanders going under a different name at the time. We watched Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs, every week, his press conference would talk about how great this team is. They could be playing a team that was like 2-9, and he'd talk about how great this team is. They got this thing, and they're going to show you the highlights. And the best coaches, that's what they're going to do. They're going to show you how great this team is. Don't worry about their record. They're great, and you have to have this healthy respect. I think that their lack of that respect kind of contributed to how they played the game.
Do you think they thought beating OKC was the mountain for them? Or you think they just didn't have a healthy respect no matter what?
I just think they didn't have a healthy respect. I don't think it was the mountain. And, I don't want you to, they didn't fear OKC. And that's how they were able to beat them. I'm not saying that they had to fear the Knicks.
Just respect them.
They had to have more respect.
But I think it in part, you could be influenced by the media,
yeah,
by the narrative. I was going to say propaganda, but it's the narrative.
Yeah, because the Knicks were never favored in anything.
The narrative had the West so much better than the East that when the finals was taking place on the onset, it was really like, oh, well, whoever wins between the Spurs and the Thunder, you might as well just give them the O'Brien Trophy because the West was that much more dominant. And then the Spurs having such a good record against the Thunder. Yeah, but also to your point, the way that they celebrated when they beat the Thunder, that was more dramatic, having to win game 6 and 7, and then you win 7 on the road versus the Knicks, sweeping. But I just think, to your point, the media likes to create stars. And this year, more than previous years past, team beat stars. And so there's just so much from a team standpoint and understanding your role and chemistry and sacrifice but so I think it was a great win for team,
And you know what? We forgot. Shout out to Mike Brown. Now,
yeah,
I've been down for getting rid of who's the previous coach?
Thibodeau.
I've been down for getting for Thibodeau 2 years ago. Probably a year before that, I was ready to get rid of him. Not because he didn't do a good job. I just felt like he did what he could do, and we needed somebody to take us to the next stage. But Mike Brown is another person. My man has won Coach of the Year twice and been fired. After winning, he's if you look at his coaching record, he's probably got one of the best coaching records in the NBA. He's probably top 10 winning percentage.
And as you were saying earlier, Kev, of the three, my fandom is the least. If my wife was on the show, she'd be like, "Oh, you're not a Knicks fan." It's about New York, and that's not taking anything away from the Knicks, but understanding the Knick of it all and what it means to be in New York.
Yeah.
For Mike Brown to come when he came, first of all, you're in the New York market. That's already a level of pressure.
Yeah.
And you got people like I'm adjusting my life. I'm watching all 82 games. The opportunity for failure for him was so much greater.
He had nothing to play with because they made it to the conference finals.
Exactly. So it's like you fired the coach that got you to the conference finals, and then you bring in the next guy. It's like,
succession could be the finals.
Yes,
that is winning, really.
That is kind of like, it's either parade or bum pick.
Yeah.
And it's worth repeating, you're in New York.
Yeah.
This is,
And he handled the press well. There wasn't one press, and the Knicks had some bumps in the road, but there wasn't any press dust-ups that a lot of New York coaches get themselves into. I want to talk about, you talked about, both of y'all hinted on this, but I want to talk about Victor Wembanyama, because to not have the respect that he should have, and I blame him, Kevin, because he's the leader on that team and they all follow him lockstep.
They do.
To be like, I'm in your head, to mush Jalen Brunson and then laugh, to the OG look like he tried to take out his knee. That could be camera angles. I don't know, but it was a weird thing.
He slid under Brunson on
But
that
and
three.
they looked, and the thing about the Brunson one is he looks at his foot. He's looking at the foot, like I'm trying to put my foot there. So he's not. I don't think he's above being dirty. Draymond Green, I heard him say, "Yo, I'm not a dirty player. I do think that it's necessary to get back at people." He's like, I will ham you up. He's like, but European players play dirty. He's like, I know people say I shouldn't say that, but I'm just telling you, they will go out of their way to hurt you. He plays in the league, not me. I trust him. Yeah, I believe it.
What do you think, Kev? Because I got thoughts.
I think that there were some things. I'm all for some tough fouls. I'm all for being physical. The stepping under people is not okay. The mush in the back, like mushing in the head. I'm alright if you do it. Like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna suffer the consequences. The fact that he's suffering no consequences is the problem.
But see,
Like,
my main point on all of this was, and then I'll let y'all finish it, that you do all of those things, and then you lose, and you walk off, and you don't shake anybody's hand. So if you're gonna be the tough guy, if you're gonna talk all the mess, when you lose, be man enough to shake the other team's hand. And not only did he not shake people's hands, everybody else following him off the court. The only people that I saw shake Nick's hands were OG vets, Cornette and Harrison Barnes. If there's other people that shook their hand, I apologize to you. I didn't see it.
nah, I saw De'Aaron Fox and Mike Brown hug. Later
Okay,
on,
well,
Well, I mean,
That's
that's the Sacramento connection right there.
Yeah, that's his
But then-
former coach thing.
Yeah, but then he got him fired after he
Yeah.
took him to task. He got fired.
Yeah. And De'Aaron Fox should have learned and listened to Mike Brown, because the foolish 3-point play foul that lost them the game, he took that same behavior and brought it to the Spurs and helped them lose the finals.
I think he's getting way too much flack. I think it's both.
But to the Wemby of it all, what you were saying, organizationally, I blame the coach. I don't believe that happens if Pop is on the sideline.
Oh, absolutely, you're right.
So,
Absolutely.
and that's not removing personal accountability, but
Absolutely,
they all have on. Let's be real. One of the things that the Spurs has been a staple is how they carry themselves as an organization and a culture,
and with honor.
Yeah. Because hey, there was moments when the Spurs had Duncan's number. Duncan never walked off without shaking hands.
Yeah.
I mean, and they had battles.
When you mean the Lakers? The Lakers?
Yeah, I'm saying
Like
I'm
the Heat, hell, when Ray Allen splashed the three.
I'm just saying for generations that it's like so.
Because you said Spurs, so I didn't know who you meant.
Yeah, I was saying with Spurs with Tim Duncan, that when the Spurs and the Lakers were going at it, and for a moment when the Lakers were getting the better of them, Tim Duncan never acted the way Wemby acted and not shook their hands.
Yeah, and to your point, Pop would have sent them back out the locker room.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying that it's like, on the one hand, you could say he's an emotional 22-year-old and Castle's an emotional 21-year-old, but with the right coach to represent the culture that is ingrained, you gonna walk back out here and shake their hands, because that's what we're about.
And you don't get to burn down our
Exactly.
hard-earned reputation.
Yes, that it's like you need to understand what it means to be a Spur.
But I think that
You're so right, Tim.
I think what's occurred is, that was the old norm. This is the new norm. And
But you can't pull on the old
No,
norm
no,
with convenience.
no,
This is the-
no.
bro, they just did it. That's their norm.
No,
That's they
no.
did it.
What I'm saying that- no.
Wait. Listen, hear me out. You listen to how they functioning. We talked about if Pop was there. Pop is not there.
He is there.
Pop is not there. Mitch
On the
Johnson-
sideline. That's why I blame the coach. I blame the coach.
Mitch Johnson is there. Mitch Johnson is there with the alien. This.
I know what
general-
happened. I don't know if it's a norm, Kev,
This-
and it ain't
this-
the NBA
this-
norm.
This generational player is there, and this is essentially this is his rookie year. I know he coached damn near a full season last year, but this is his first time he got the job. He was interim before. Now he got the job. First year. He doesn't have the same power, the same gravitas that Pop would. Everybody at this point, my man is the lead. Alien.
So you don't think the coach could have made them shake hands?
Oh yeah. Oh, he could have.
Then
but
that's
he could.
immaterial.
No, he absolutely could have. But I think that it speaks to the culture of how they get down. We're the best team. We're this, not the healthy respect. So I'm saying that is to me that's the norm within the organization, and that's just a manifestation of how they've been moving.
And so a manifestation, I agree with that, which is why I feel.
But I think that's their norm. That is how they get down. That is how Wemby functions. That is how Wemby treats people. Wemby is like, I'm the best. Wemby doesn't have I'm gonna say healthy respect, but when Wemby talks as if I'm up here and everybody else is beneath me.
But there is an NBA norm. There's an NBA norm that he has to succumb to, and that is when you lose, you shake people's hands. Otherwise, you go down like the Detroit Pistons.
I was gonna say,
and we're gonna talk about you forever. There's an
it's
NBA norm that's greater than his norm.
It's the importance of history, and in that moment, they forgot because people have still the Detroit Pistons will never live that down.
Yep.
And so this is they're going to suffer the goodwill or lack of for those actions, but I put it on coaching.
Yeah.
I think that's such a key point.
Because because if you don't,
it's the adults in the room. I
agree with that. Because if you don't do that, it potentially can impact the true level of greatness that they can reach.
And I think that Pop, to your point, Tim, because he's not there, but he is there. He's not on the sideline. I guarantee you he had a conversation with Wemby afterwards. And I guarantee you might hear from Adam Silver about that. The reason I say that is because they want him to be an international face of the league. And if you're going to be the international face, you can't be the thug. You can have a thug on your team, but you can't be the guy doing flagrant fouls, because if there was a game 6, technically the NBA should have reviewed that foul and he should be out the next game.
I mean, Brunson saved the NBA
from having to do that, right?
from having to not, because they weren't going to do it.
I don't know, man. I think they would have.
They weren't going to do it.
I think they would have.
I think the pressure. I think the noise would have been so loud
in New York.
And I feel you, Kev. Put it like this: Brunson gave them the greatest out because they didn't have to face that pressure.
Yeah.
Because it would have been virtually impossible to explain not doing it.
Yeah.
Outside of just, well, because it's Wemby, he's our face, and we're not going to do it. Because if that's the case,
they would call it an unnatural shooting motion.
Then the rules committee, it'd be a whole new game. By the start of next season.
I mean, they did it with the flagrant foul with the mush in the neck.
Yeah, but I get it, but they wouldn't have did that because it would have been 2 in a row. It's a clear flagrant. It's a clear flagrant foul.
I hear you. I hear you.
Like they said in the show, it's cut and dry.
I hear you. But what you're saying is going against the actions that they've already done, that we've seen.
And because of those previous actions, Kevin.
And that's what I'm saying. The noise,
I understand.
The noise would have been louder because they didn't do it after that. And so, But hey, there's no need. because
There's no, there's no need.
you're planning a parade, but it also lets people know that it's like, there's a lot of room for growth. He has to develop more offensive game and get stronger. I feel like what Shaq was saying about Wemby having to get stronger is correct. Um,
I mean, there's
the,
tons of improvements that he can make on his game. I mean, he
but then,
can.
but and also, I think that that Robinson got so out coached, it
Yes.
was
Yep.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Johnson
Because
just
you don't lose being up by 29 and it not involve coaching.
yeah.
Like, I understand the Knicks kept clawing and they never gave up, but shooting all them 3-pointers, leaving all that time on the clock, giving extra possessions for the Knicks to run up and down. Nobody's blocking out OG when he passes. Like, these are coaching. So
I mean,
between the head coach and his whole row of assistants,
Yeah.
y'all got
yeah,
mollywopped by Mike
somebody
Brown.
somebody got to go. Somebody got to go, and some new. I mean, one of the things that I will say, and I can understand like some of the Spurs arrogance and the coaching thing is because most times when people are down big, they don't get walked down. It's like a burst. It's like watching Golden State, right? Bam, they just hit you 40 points in a quarter.
Yeah.
Now we in this. Every one of these games, they got walked down. It wasn't like
Yeah. You know what Wemby and the Spurs, to your point, Kevin, what Wemby and the Spurs didn't understand because they're like, oh well, we was in the lead and that's why they feel they're better than them. But I can tell you as a Knicks fan, the Knicks have started slowly all season long. In the first quarter, they've been great in the third quarter with Wright Brown and his adjustments. And while it's 70% of the time, I think it's 72, they were in the lead during the finals. If you break it down by quarter, the Spurs outscored the Knicks in the first quarter,
like
and the
50
Knicks
some odd points.
outscored the Spurs in quarter 2, 3, and 4 the entire series. So it is actually a mirage of what was really going on. Like the Knicks put it to them 3 quarters out of the game. They just in the first quarter often, had an accident like they were a 6-year-old boy who drank some Kool-Aid before he went to bed.
Here's a stat that I saw on the NBA website. Over the course of the playoffs, the Knicks in the last 6 seconds of the play clock, they scored 345 points. Their opponent scored 166.
So, okay.
They the man under pressure.
They are. And I think, the 29 points, I know a lot of people, are like, wow, that's incredible. But it didn't surprise me. I mean, people forget like Boston happened last year. They did it twice. Plus 20 points in two games back to back. They did it during the season. They had a 21-point win during the season.
I heard something during the playoffs. Like I think it's happened 7 times where somebody has walked the team down from 20 or more down, and I think the Knicks did it like 5 of those times or something.
Yeah. And you're right. The Knicks walking them down is the perfect way to express it. I definitely I'm happy.
What you think about the New York celebrations? I will say, so when the Knicks won, right, the young man in me, the young man that I think I am in my head was like, yo, I want to head out. I want to head downtown and we go hit Times Square and go celebrate. My son was down. The old man in me walked to my balcony, yelled, let's go, with the rest of the neighborhood. we were yelling and music is playing now. Then I went back to the couch. But once I saw the buses burning, the school buses burning, I said, yeah, you know what? I'm glad I wasn't there. My son was there. He went to a bar. He's like, we're going to watch the Brazil match because Brazil played in Meadowlands. So they come back into Penn Station.
Yeah.
Then you got the watch party at the Garden and all the other bars. So that area was just
Crazy. I mean, I'm disappointed. I actually, it's funny, on Reddit, I got into it with somebody because I was tired of reading the New York fan disrespect. Because I just feel like those people who have acted up are such a small minority of the fan base, but yet they paint all of us with that brush.
Yeah.
And person was like, talking about how bad the New York fans were. It took me 5 seconds to go and find the San Antonio Spurs winning in 2012, and there being, you know, uh, public disorder in San Antonio. It's something that happens every year at to varying degrees in almost every city that wins. New
Hell,
York City, obviously.
2 weeks ago, did we see what happened when Paris Saint Germain won?
No, I didn't. I don't. Yeah.
They tore up Paris.
Yeah. And I think that New York is a city that obviously there's the most eyes on. So everything we do will get magnified greater. I'm not excusing it. It really is disheartening, and it bothered me because it definitely painted the whole fan base. A Spurs fan should be able to come into New York and not get harassed. We never did that before. For decades, I've never known that to be a New York thing. When we was at the Jet games and the Patriot guys used to come there, they're gonna get verbally given a business, but they wouldn't be physically attacked.
Okay.
And I think that is a Boston Philly thing. That's not something New York was really known for.
So I just want to add Paris Saint Germain. They won back to back. Last year, their riots resulted in 2 fatalities, over 190 injuries, and more than 500 arrests. This year, I'm not sure. I know I saw a bunch of fires and things. I don't know how bad it got. So I'm saying, unfortunately, it's a bad part of sports. It happens on college campuses and all these things, and it's something that
but New York do better.
We wish didn't happen because
New York do better, and I hope Thursday
is
a peaceful day.
Thursday, we out there. We out there in the parade.
We out in these streets on Thursday.
We out in these streets. Look for me.
I wish Tim could transport here.
I mean, like you said, everything is. I mean, you don't earn the moniker "the city that never sleeps" if you're not outside.
Yeah.
So the truth is, and I mean, let's add some layers. It was a beautiful weather night.
Yeah.
They won the championship on a great weather Saturday night.
Yeah.
On the eve of the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not excusing anything.
Yeah. It was the streets were already jumping. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like the stage was already set for pandemonium. People was already outside.
And
they were outside. If they didn't win, they would have been.
That's
outside.
what I'm saying. Like there were certain spots in the city that just because it's the city.
Yeah.
I mean, it was blocked. Like those watch parties all over the village. People streaming on buildings. I mean, broadcast. It's crazy. I mean, everything I said for the past couple of weeks. I've been walking around. You know how many dogs I'm seeing wearing jerseys, wearing Brunson jerseys.
Yeah.
I saw something online. It was a picture of a woman as a nurse and like getting ready to birth 900 children named Jalen.
That's a fact.
But my thing is, I just hope that that Thursday is just celebration and that nobody gets hurt and we're speaking from our older, more mature, reasonable selves. Because I could say, bro, we was outside in '87 when Doug Williams led the Redskins to the championship because it was Doug Williams as the first black. We wasn't even Redskin fans. We was just outside. Yeah, so it's just like, then it was like, yo, schools are closed. It's Doug Williams Day. We was outside.
Yeah.
So,
And
but there was no violence because everybody, DC.
No violence. And that was DC. In the height of DC.
Yeah, and that was like DC murder capital. But first of all, it's '87.
Yeah, that's DC was on fire.
We still in the crack era.
DC was on fire back then. I will say this: the slander's already started. Spurs are favorites to win the NBA championship next year. I saw something from an orthopedic doctor because I was like, Wemby need to be put on weight, and they have a plan to put weight on him slowly. And the orthopedic surgeon was talking about the fact that Wemby had big arms, which are levers, and if he just bulks up, he's more likely to hurt himself and shorten his career. So,
He can't do much. No matter how much weight he puts on, his center
yeah,
of gravity is going to be it's going to be
yeah,
higher than other people's. It's like football and blocking. Like the
yeah.
lower I get, the more I can root you out. Like,
It's why Jalen Brunson and Alvarado were able to push him around because they got and all they gotta do is get lower than his waist. So, I think Wemby's issues may continue longer than we think. And my thing was I never thought he was the last 5 minute go change the game player, and I don't see that changing next year. So
I mean,
I think
I don't know
I
when it's
think
going
the
to
answer
change.
is a better De'Aaron Fox. I don't think Wemby as an offensive player is going to get that much better.
I don't know. I think it's going to get a lot better. I just I'm glad we got him now because I think that
Yeah.
there's a lot of areas where he can grow even without the weight.
Yeah, I mean, but he needs to get moves. But
No, and this is where it's that would sound like Philly saying trust the process. But the growth that he has shown from when he came into the league, I'm just holding on to the fact that the young man is only 22,
yeah,
and
And he's only played 2 seasons. Last year he was out for.
because last year he had the blood issue where he missed out a material amount of games. So I feel in ways the Spurs are ahead of schedule.
yeah,
If he does the work, the coach gets better because he gets more comfortable in it. I do agree with you, that it's not. He may not be that last 5 minute closer. Clearly, you need a point guard or floor general, whatever you want to call him. You need
yeah,
somebody.
I mean, before the game, like they talked about De'Aaron Fox as the veteran. I think they said he's got 7 playoff games before
yeah,
this.
Well, see
yeah.
what it was. He's the veteran in comparison
Send to
Yeah,
them. Yeah,
yeah,
to them.
but
yeah.
but it's still everything is heightened in the playoffs. And
Yeah,
that's
but they
still
need
Yeah,
to get some vets in this offseason. They need to get some
yeah.
vets on the
But I mean,
team.
because like
some vets that can get on the court. I mean, they
we
got them
we
on the sidelines in people's ears, but they need something that can get on the
we
court.
we, we grew
Yeah,
up in an era where like almost half of the Spurs that made really surmountable contributions would have still been in college.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I think that Vassell,
we could be the parents of the whole starting team.
yeah, I think Vassell's still going to get better, but I
Facts.
think Castle and Harper are going to be really formidable in the next coming years. Castle's offensive game will continue to get better. I'm just saying last thing I'll say about Wimpy is I think his problem that he has, the fact that you can push him off his block and muscle him and those type of things are not easily solvable.
Yes.
And if you're gonna put weight on slowly, then I don't know. Because even if he gets a post up move, like he gets a turn, let's say he does Tim Duncan bank shot off the glass. If I can still push him, it's still a problem. So I
But
think,
he's got to be able to handle the contact. I mean, look at it. He takes
but you
fadeaways.
need strength to do that, Kev.
He takes fadeaways from the mid range. Like
Yeah,
my
but
man, you 7'11".
Listen,
but
Michael
if I
Michael
can't
Michael
keep,
Jordan had to get stronger after Detroit,
yeah,
and
and
it's
that's
a
all I'm saying.
process.
Like to me, the
Yes.
answer is strength. But if this surgeon is right and he showed this San Antonio's plan and have to
Strength and
put on
bulking up
strength
is different.
slowly, then I don't see this getting resolved for another 2 or 3 years.
I mean, strength and bulking up are different. Like he can definitely get stronger. He's not gonna put. He don't got another 30 pounds like that.
And Aaron, I think your timetable is probably right, which would have him at 25.
Yeah,
He still would
a
have
decade.
he still would have a prime decade to continue to grow and dominate.
Yeah,
I think the expectations and things was placed so fast that you're not allowing that process. Because I mean,
Yes, that's fair, very fair.
people forget Jordan had a maturation process before the 90s.
Yeah.
They were called the 80s.
Yeah. And it was what, 7 years?
Yeah.
Yes.
And and even to your point, you got to be careful. We know that we think he's next up, but 4 or 5 years ago, we thought Ja Morant was next up.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to say that, but
I don't even. No, but I'm saying, I just say that to say you don't know what could happen. I don't even know. Is he still on Memphis?
yeah, he won't be by the end of the season.
I was about to say, but now we could do this. Look
at that Memphis team. How young that Memphis team was with Jaren Jackson.
Yes, but even before them, everyone thought Zion Williamson was the next.
And what's the name? And
because it was like built a little bit bigger than LeBron, can do this and do that.
Yeah.
So
thought my man was Adonis until he
found
the restaurant.
The ultimate is Embiid. We thought that Philly and Embiid they were going to be, so I just think as a big man and the way that the surgeon was explaining it, the likelihood that you can break your foot, and the reason you break your feet is because of the long levers and the strain it puts on your calf muscle and all of these things, that he's been lucky to not get injured, but he's only, and I don't wish this out on why I wasn't going to bring it up, but Kevin, opened the door. I think the potential for career-altering injury is at least a possibility in his career, and as much as I don't like him, I don't want that to happen to him, but it is at least a possibility.
No doubt about
it. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, you got there. It takes about 100 games. It takes about 95 games to get back to the same spot.
Last question before we go.
Long road. Go ahead.
Wemby said, I hate the fact that I have to wait 100 games to get back here to do something about it. So, I have to wait 100 games, assuming that he was going to be back in the finals next year. With a foregone conclusion. I have to wait 100 games. You like that, or do you think that's highly delusional?
I like that. I like that. You got to talk that talk.
I think that's crazy.
Every professional athlete is highly delusional.
Put like this, you don't think that sounds like something Kobe was thinking when they got trounced in Boston, and then was like, "We gonna be back," and they was back.
I mean, to me,
I think there's a difference between we'll be back and.
To me, it's like I'm committing to this grind. I know what this grind is, and I'm committing to this grind to get right back here.
I think you say I'm going to work, and we're going to work to get back here next year. He was assuming it. He was like, his point was, I just hate that I have to go through 100 games till I can do something about it. It was a foregone conclusion. And I don't have to do a whole bunch of things in between, and that to me is crazy.
Let me ask you: do you think there's anybody that doesn't think that on that team? Anybody in the NBA that doesn't think I got to go through this to get to this point? You don't think SGA thinks that?
I think there's a difference. It's a subtle difference to me, of I expect to be in the finals next year as opposed to. I can't believe I gotta wait 100 games till I get here. I know it's gonna happen. Not I'm gonna make it happen. There's a difference to me.
But I think the knowing is insinuating that I'm gonna put the work in. I'm telling you, we gonna be here.
Okay.
We'll see.
We shall see.
I'm Steph, Draymond, all of them. But
yeah.
Whatever. My Knicks are champs.
That's right.
The Wizards aren't saying that though. There's some teams that know. Even though they could be palpable next year. I mean, they could do a little something if people come healthy. But there you go.
My mayor is Muslim. My bagels are Jewish.
Yeah.
I forgot what the other one was. They changed. My Christians Dior. Something
I'll just say this. I will have on so much Nick paraphernalia.
Be looking like Spike's cousin, Orville.
You might You know,
Yo,
Yo, should Spike get a ring?
Spike should get a ring.
absolutely.
Yo, I didn't even tell you about the Knicks. They selling orange and the blue bagels.
Yeah,
So,
I saw that when I was up there.
Yeah. I was like, yo, let me grab one of these bagels. I think
Mm.
I get one on
That's
Thursday.
a whole
I
bunch.
got a
That's a whole bunch
surprise.
of die number 5. Be like, all
Yeah.
right,
I don't know if I'm gonna eat it.
I got something. I got something to add to the background for the show
Got you. All right.
that I'm loving.
orange and blue skies.
Orange
You
and
should have
blue,
told
all
us
right.
what color shirts to wear then, man.
Yeah, man. So
Got us looking crazy. All right.
time for the Robinson report. What are those things that are giving you life or making Reggie Jackson mad?
Well, it's the Robinson report.
It's the
I will go
Robinson report.
first.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
Chick.
Want me to go first? I'm still mad.
No,
Okay.
no, I'm gonna go first
Yeah.
because
Oh, go ahead.
mine is simple and easy. And what else could it be, man? Like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, really, the greatest
Okay.
sports weekend in my life. Lewis Hamilton wins the F1 Spanish
Race.
Grand Prix. He hadn't won a race in 2 years.
You
And
got with a Kardashian. I'm sorry.
you know,
It's that Kardashian luck.
Yeah.
it wasn't a curse now, it turned into luck. And the Knicks win the chip. So, and I'm going to the parade on Thursday. That's really what's giving me life. I'm going with Kev,
And the U.S. men's
Wally,
national team.
Amar.
U.S. national
wife
team
even
put up.
said she wanted
U.S.
to come.
national team put up 4 against
With a
Paraguay.
four.
Yeah,
With-
exactly.
With
yeah,
a black man.
yes.
Yeah.
With a black
I
man
forgot
with two
about
goals.
the U.S. and putting it on Paraguay like that. So no, it was a good weekend, and my wife was even gonna come, but she has a Regents exam on that day in her
You know, subject.
in her subject, so she can't even not come.
It's like, it ain't like she got to take the test.
They need to shut the schools down. I ain't taking no Regis the day of the parade.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
Yo.
crazy, right? Like,
Yeah.
what are they doing? Education.
You're like, come
They
on,
could
man.
they could move the date.
Yeah.
That is a rough one because in New York, for those that aren't in New York, that is the test that holds everybody back. That history.
The history test.
That global history.
Yeah, but my thing is global history's being made. Do you want me to sit inside a classroom and take the test?
If it's U.S. history, it's fine. People tend to pass that. That global history, that's a 2-year course.
Yeah.
That is a
It's hard.
week. It's not hard. I mean,
It's just what
kids
kids
just
don't know.
you got to pay attention. That's 9th and 10th grade. You know.
Yeah.
Those are the years you're not probably a good student. Don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
What you got, Reggie Jacks? You
Alright.
what you mad at?
What am I mad at? All right. So on Saturday, right? I'm sorry, on Friday, SpaceX had their IPO. They initial offering of stock came out. Elon Musk is now
The
is now
trillionaire.
a trillionaire. Elon Musk is now a trillionaire.
Yeah, it's a crime.
Probably the richest person in the world. We don't know if ever, because my man, Golden Timbuktu. We don't know if he was richer. They say he was through history, but we don't got the math. But I'm gonna just say this for 1 second. Elon Musk is now, his net worth is the same as the 46% of the bottom of the entire world's population. This man is worth more than 3.8 billion people. Now, he is currently stoking violence in, is it Belfast? With this racist post where an immigrant had stabbed somebody, and he's promoting violence, and they're running out there, they're setting fires, they attacking people. He's already bought an election for $300 million, which was the best deal ever. How safe are we? No one in this world is safe if we continue to allow this. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Y'all did this. Oh, you know what else I'm gonna say? The stock is probably trading way too much. Probably way too high. I'm no thing. He cooked all types of rules in order to get the stock Nasdaq made them listed immediately. All types of rules to make sure that now index funds have to purchase like 4% of his stock shares, which adds a couple billion to his joints. Like he's
Say that again.
all types of.
Oh,
T-
so
t-
your index fund has to because they represent the market.
yeah,
So
because he's on Nasdaq. Typically, it's like a year before you could get on. He tried Nasdaq. He tried the Dow and the S&P. They was like kick rocks. Nasdaq agreed to it. Boom. 15 days. So 15 days later, all these index funds, all your pension funds, everybody's going to be an owner of SpaceX just because he was able to work the rules in his favor.
that's crazy.
But yeah, we like billionaires, right? Billionaires or trillionaires, okay. Can we at least say trillionaires shouldn't exist?
Yes, we can. And all I said was just different levels to billionaires.
We gotta do a Lil Wayne remix, a trilly.
That's
My
crazy.
Robinson report. I'm gonna shout out the young brother Rajah Caruth, who is the O'Reilly Parts NASCAR driver. My family and I, shout out to Roger Caruth, who is a co-professor of mine at Howard University. Rajah Caruth is his son, and he's a
Wow.
NASCAR driver. So we got a chance to go to Poconos on Saturday and watch him race. He came in seventh, so it was a nice top 10 finish. But just to get that close and see, like we were in the garage, we were in the pit, just to see it
Oh
up
wow.
close. Literally to the point Vanessa and Isaiah was sitting in the joint with the headphones on where they could
Oh, nice.
hear him communicating. Like, so we did everything except get into the car.
Yo, it's all access. That's
It was
what's up.
all access. Like when the race was over and they lined up, we stepped over, got to chill with the family. So it was a really great day. So shout out to Rajah Caruth.
Wow.
Yeah, so he definitely given life, and we got home just in time for like the last 2 minutes of the Knick game, and my wife, who is a Knick fan, she was considering herself a Jinx A, so she would not watch any other playoff games. But when we got in the house, we watched that together, so that was cool.
Is she coming up? She coming?
No, because she's coming, I'm going. So, but it's like, yeah. So, but yeah,
Wow.
that's what's up.
So
that's mine.
let me ask you, Tim, how loud do the cars sound and all that? Like, what's it like? This, you know,
You feel it.
experiencing
You feel it in your body, like you feel it in your chest. And but also what was interesting, because we was there long enough, so we got to see the O'Reilly parts, the level that he's on. That was one sound. But then the Cup Series with Bubba Wallace and them,
Yeah.
we got to see them practice and qualify. Those
Wow.
cars had a total different sound. That joint, you felt it going through you.
Wow.
So yeah, so if you was hanging around, it definitely a whole lot of earbuds that was there. But it was great. It was a great time.
That's a wonderful experience, man. I'm glad that you got that. Especially me. I'm a guy who likes racing. I'm happy that you got
Yeah,
to see that.
so that was cool. We had a good time.
You know, next time if you go to Poconos again, man,
Let
I
you
might
know.
meet you there, buy some tickets and go. Cause I always want to go to the Poconos and watch a NASCAR race. Anyway,
It was a nice track. It was a good day. Food wasn't that expensive. It was a good day.
yeah, that's cool. It's and I imagine it's generally nowhere near what F1 probably costs, man. Like, cause F1
No.
you need to mortgage your child's, you know,
Yeah. What F1 costs is ridiculous.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's what's up, Tim. That's what's up.
So yep. That was mine. So
All right.
So it was a good sports weekend, y'all.
all around.
Yep. It's like no L's going on, man. Like no L's anywhere. Yeah.
And the last season of Raising Kanan started. So I gotta get into that.
Yo, I gotta.
Shout out to 50.
I've never watched, but I've always been interested in that one because it's our era.
Yeah.
So,
Yo, it's funny. Me and Vanessa have just started watching The Wire.
okay.
Like, never watched it before. And because it was actually Wood Harris. He did Uncensored on TV1.
Mm-hmm.
So he's talking about his career. And so her and I was watching it. So as he's talking about his career, he talks about The Wire.
Yeah.
And so then she was like, "Hey, you want to go back and watch it?" I'm like, "Sure." So it's crazy watching Baltimore 2003 in
Nuts, right?
in 2026.
Yeah.
That it's like what people was what people was saying was violent and gory stuff then. I'm like, this is nothing compared to what's on TV now.
Yeah. And I'll say to you,
So we got through season 1. So we got a couple more seasons. So we just got through season 1.
well, Wallace's death is one of the most tragic things on the show. There's more tragedy coming, but
Yeah, that joint hit. I was like, yo,
Well,
they did Michael B. Jordan.
yeah.
They shot the Oscar winner.
And wasn't he good? Wasn't he? He's like a totally different actor. He was really great as Wallace.
He was a good stupid kid. He reminded me of like
He
kids
should have
out there.
stayed in
Like,
in
yo,
there.
man, yo, get out the biz like that. There's this one kid one time, man. He was
It's like,
selling.
don't
on the
come
block.
back. Don't come back.
He was selling on the. He left the school, was acting up. Then I come back and I look out my classroom window. This dude has got like a New York Knicks bright orange shirt selling on the block. Yeah, I walked out my classroom. Was like, yo, what is wrong with you? Get off the block. I started giving him the business, man.
The block is hot.
Notice,
And you in orange.
notice. He ain't go out there and say stop selling. He said get off the block.
Cause he knew that was a waste of time.
I'm just
No, I
saying
know.
that
It's funny. It's funny.
It's different. It's different teaching styles. Everybody can. First of all, your average teacher can't go run out there because they would have caught one.
Yeah,
But,
they would have been
you know,
scared. They would have been like,
exactly.
is that a person who buys drugs?
It's like,
standing
yo,
next to
man.
me?
It's like the block is hot. The block is hot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Lou. Shout out to Lou and Cash Money.
Yeah.
Shout out. But
All right, y'all.
Yes.
We ran over, but
Yeah. We
been
went
53
long, but
years
you
in
know
the
what?
waiting.
Yeah.
You know.
That's right.
It's been a long time.
And this is what happens when we record on days that two of my producers don't have prior recording engagements that they got to rush into, so we could just keep the party going.
Yes.
The party's not dying. The party's rocking on until Thursday.
Like the party's not over. It ain't over. Teddy?
Over.
Damn.
We're gonna be the only people not drinking 40s at the party, though.
Exactly.
I might get a nutcracker though.
I'm waiting to see. I want to hear like some New York hip hop, like what comes out from this. Because seeing the clips of like so many people singing Empire State of Mind, like with Alicia Keys, like my goodness.
That's the anthem after every win. That's the first joint that plays in the bars and all types of stuff. Like,
I'm waiting to see what Jay gonna do at Yankee Stadium with the Knicks having won the championship.
Oh my goodness. He might bring out Jalen Brunson knowing
So
that guy.
that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, I'm here for it. So
Yeah.
That's what's
yo, this is Tim. My mic sounds nice as always. Till next time.
This is Kev, Reggie Jacks. My mic sounds nice.
This is my mic sounds nice. The Knicks is the nicest team in the NBA. And it's orange and blue skies, baby. Peace.
Peace.